Hey Placer County, I'm Daniel Chatigny, your Placer County CEO, and I'm here at the Grass Valley Air Attack Base. On this episode of the County Line, we're going to take an inside look at what it takes to fight wildfires in the Sierra. And with me today is CAL FIRE Unit Chief and Placer County Fire Chief Jim Hudson. Thank you, Chief Hudson, for being out here today.
Thank you for coming.
And firefighting, it's a complicated business, isn't it?
It's a complicated business. And what we're here today to talk about or look at really is our firefighting operations, is specifically to the air program. Every fire that we have is a combination of air and ground resources attacking that fire. And right here we have our OV-10 Bronco, which is our air attack platform. And with us, Fire Captain Forrest Rowell, who is our air tactical group supervisor.
Yeah. Okay. So this is an air attack, which means what? It's not actually attacking the fires, right?
That's correct. Yeah, the air attack performs more as an aerial coordinator and supervision platform. So when a fire is dispatched in California, there's up to 5 to 10 different aircraft coming into this one location from all sorts of locations. So with that chaos coming in at a really high speed, we need someone to control that airspace. And essentially that's what the air attack doing, is coordinating that airspace with all the aerial firefighting aircraft.
So when a call comes in, you're the first to go into the air?
Yeah, typically if all things work out right, then the air attack will be the first aircraft overseen. At times that may not be the case. However, we do have all of our air attack bases, heli attack bases positioned to have any sort of aircraft over fire in 20 minutes, and most likely will be the air attack first.
Okay. And this air attack base has been in operation for quite a long time, right?
Very iconic historic air base. Been serving this region, this community, Nevada, Yuba, Placer counties, as well as our surrounding counties since 1958. Multiple different iterations of aircraft have come through here through the years, whether it's the air attack platform or our air tankers that we'll see here in a little bit. But very vital to the system, as Forrest said, 20 minutes. We need air attack operations occurring within 20 minutes anywhere in the state of California. And this is a very exercised air base just due to the fuels and topography that we protect in this area.
So from the time a call comes in, does it take you usually 20 minutes to get up in the air, or is it actually 20 minutes over the fire itself? So you're up in the air in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, quite the opposite there. Actually, we're usually rolling out of here within 4 to 5 minutes of receiving that 911 call. Okay. So that process is very quick. Our 20-minute boundary is just the maximum amount of time we like to travel. This air base, based off of where it's situated, actually can be over most of our fires in less than 15 minutes, with the Lake Tahoe region kind of being the furthest travel for us.
Okay. So when the air attack gets over a fire and you're maybe the first one over the fire, what is your normal routine? I mean, what are you looking for before you dispatch the tankers or ground resources? Or
yeah, great question. So upon dispatch, we'll have a lot of ground resources going, we'll have a lot of aircraft going. As soon as we show up to the fire, we'll do a quick assessment of the fire. We'll prioritize where the highest threats are, and then from there we'll kind of triage and where we want to start our aerial operations. And all of that is closely coordinated with the ground. Aerial assets are not very effective without that backup of the ground resources going in there and putting the fire out.
Okay. And you're doing that from the back seat of this air attack. So there's a pilot in here with you, so your attention is fully focused on the fire activity and dispatching resources.
Absolutely, yes. So we have a qualified air attack pilot up front, and in the back seat we have the qualified air tactical group supervisor, and our focus is completely on the aircraft, making sure they're operating safely in the airspace, as well as coordinating closely with the ground incident commander and ensuring that our tactics are aligned with his priorities.
And all this timing and all just kind of putting all the resources out there at once on a wildland fire is kind of helping you meet your objective of nothing more than 10 acres, right?
CAL FIRE mission is contain all 95% of all fires to 10 acres or less, and it is an initial dispatch. We don't triage whether aircraft takes off or not. If it's a big fire initially reported or a small one, these aircraft are launching, and like he said, it's choreographed, working closely with the ground resources, our incident commander at the back of his vehicle, and just painting that picture to make sure that we're all aligned. But every time we get ignition 911, these planes are rolling.
Well, Captain Rawl, thank you for talking to me about the air attack and its priority role in helping assess fires and incidents that occur in our region. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming.
And Chief, we talked about the air tankers, so how about we go take a look at one of those?
Absolutely. We house 2 here at the Grass Valley Air Tech Base.
Okay.
So this is one of our 2 air tankers assigned here at the Grass Valley Air Attack Base, and this is our pilot, Bo Miller.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So at Grass Valley, we have 2 S2 tankers, very, very effective initial attack aircraft, as well as large fire support. In CAL FIRE, we do have a mixed fleet of fixed wing operations. We have our C-130s, 4 in service, as well as large air tankers out of McClellan Reload Base, not far from here. But this is who works with the air attack pilot and is the one dropping retardant and building fire line.
Okay. Well, let's take a look inside and we can talk about what you do.
Yep, follow me.
Okay.
Just watch your head.
Well, so we're in the cockpit of the S2 air tanker.
Correct.
And you fly these things.
This is my office.
This is your office. So, I mean, obviously this stuff just looks like a normal, well, as much as I know, a normal aircraft control panel to look like. But let's talk about the firefighting part of it. Okay. So single pilot, and you're up in the air. Are these planes loaded with retardant? Like right now, are we sitting in a plane that's ready to go?
Yes, we're sitting here with 1,000 gallons of retardant on board and ready to go at a moment's notice.
Is that the maximum load that it can carry?
We can normally carry 1,200,
okay,
but we have to burn off some fuel to keep the aircraft's maximum weight in mind. So
okay.
It's a trade-off.
So when you go up, obviously the air attack is up over a fire, and they're kind of giving some general ideas about where to drop the retardant, but how do you know when to do that? I mean,
so they'll tell us the area they want it. We identify a fire by, we have terminology, we call them flanks. The head is like the part where it's burning and heading towards, like burning in that direction. And they'll tell us, say, hey, we want to drop across the head, or we want to drop on the right flank. And then I look at, usually find some sort of reference point that I can see. And then that's where I decide. And I set up a drop pattern, which is very similar to a landing pattern. And then I just set up for that and go in and I look for a spot on the ground where I want to start. And I just do that kind of by seat of the pants and experience. It takes a while.
And you're flying, when you're making the drops, you're flying at a pretty low elevation.
Correct. Yeah, we want to be 150 feet above the vegetation. So if it's a pine forest like around here, will be, usually a couple hundred feet above the actual ground. Okay. So that prevents the retardant from hitting the ground with all the weight and potentially destroying property or knocking trees over. And it also ensures a better coverage, so it rains down instead of smashing into the ground.
Oh, that's an important point that I never would have thought about, right?
Yes.
That you're obviously working around wildfires around residential houses and all kinds of things like that too.
Yes.
And is there a reason why it's red, the retardant?
Yes, that is for us to see it, so we can see previous drops. So the air attack, he's watching the drops and can see where they land, and then we reference a lot of times off of previous drops. So we'd call that a tag and extend, or turn a corner, but then we can see where it is. If it was clear, it'd be hard to know where to start.
Yeah.
And it's hard, even depending on the lighting and the smoke, to see where it is, even the bright.
And then when you fly and you have to return to base to get refilled on the retardant, how long does that turnaround usually take before you're back up in the air?
Here at Grass Valley, it's maybe 6 to 7 minutes. Our total time sitting here in the pit getting reloaded is about 3 minutes. So 3 minutes plus taxi time.
So pretty quick.
Yes,
quick turnaround.
Very quick. Yep.
In a typical fire season, how many dispatches do you think you get on average? Dozens?
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yes.
Hundreds, because anything that lights, right?
I went on 4 yesterday.
4 just yesterday.
Yes.
And a lot of those never hit the news because they were probably small in nature, but when the call comes in, you go.
Yeah, I went on 4 dispatches, but I only had 2 retardant drops. Okay. So sometimes we might go fly several a week and then not drop a single load of retardant. And then other days we might get 1 and we drop 4 or 5. So you never really, that's the most challenging part about this job, is you just never know what you're going to get. It's a new thing every day, and you have to go from sitting in there reading a book to you know, a million miles an hour.
So, Bo, one of our more infamous fires of late was the mosquito fire in the Forest Hill area. Were flying on that operation?
Yes, I was on that from the get-go.
And that was a pretty intense firefight trying to really save the town of Forest Hill, right?
Yeah, it was. I think I had 25 drops on the second day of that fire.
Wow. But but you flew multiple days too, right?
Well, yeah, probably six days on it.
Wow. Consecutive?
Correct.
That's a lot of work.
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
There's
Appreciate
a lot of
you
flying.
for that.
Yeah.
How does that affect you in what you do? I mean, do you feel like these are my people now and I'm here to protect them as much as I am to protect assets?
Yes, for sure. And I have a lot of friends that live around in the area, so always thinking about that when I fly out to a new start. Just always concerned about that for sure. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely forefront of my mind, and I want to do the best job I can to protect people and property.
Excellent. Well, thank you for talking to me about kind of your role in helping, reduce the intensity of some of our fire incidents. I appreciate it.
Sure.
And so now I'm going to go check out how the retardant operations works. Thanks, Bill.
Sounds good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So this is our retardant mixing plant. It was installed this spring. Our installation was completed, very new to us. State of the art, only one of its kind in California right now. The nearest base that has this is actually in Colorado. And it's a very modern mixing station. It can do 4 times the amount of retardant mixing in 10 minutes as our previous system, doing about 8,000 gallons in under 10 minutes.
And when you say mixing, so you're taking the retardant itself, it's in a powder form?
Yep, so the retardant starts in a solid powder state, goes into the mixer, mixed with water, and then it is pumped up to the aircraft. So it's really expedited the amount of time we can mix and pump and get the planes moving again. So if you look locally, the river fire, mosquito fire, it'll just be a constant rotation of planes landing, tankers landing, refilling, and launching again. It doesn't have to be just from this base. So like we talked about, there could be an air tanker over a fire anywhere in the state of California in 20 minutes. When we have a local fire, they'll all refill here to limit the flight time back and forth.
Okay. And so there's 2 holding tanks back there. How big are those? How many gallons do those hold?
50,000 in total. Both of those tanks hold 25,000 gallons of retardant that are full at all times, ready for a fire.
And then each of the tankers, I heard, carries about 1,000 gallons right at a time.
That is correct.
So there's plenty of supply there when it's needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this has been super informative, Chief. I really appreciate you and your team for the outstanding work that they provide all the residents in Placer County and all the businesses and everybody that recreates here. We know it's a high fire prone area and your response has been impeccable and we really, really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for being here today, highlighting the work that our folks do here at the Grass Valley Air Attack Base. Couldn't be prouder of the staff we have here. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And that'll do it for this episode of The County Line. We hope that you found out a lot of helpful information about how Placer County, through its cooperative agreement with CAL FIRE and the Placer County Fire Department, take priority in helping you and your property stay safe. See you next time.